I saw on the Hallow app a very clever daily inspiration one day, and it was about, what if Jesus was an influencer, kind of like on TikTok? Wouldn't it be funny if he said, hey, come and get your sandals, and take a walk across Judea, or hey, how about this really awesome lotion, 2 for 1, and I'll get rid of your leprosy, or, just things like that. And I thought, how crazy is that, right? And it starts me to think about stuff like, how he destroyed the temple. He didn't destroy the temple, but he overturned the temples because they were making a marketplace out of it and stuff. And here we are, we chase a lot of satisfaction. We sell on TikTok, we do this, we do that. We're chasing the next dream, the next fortune, the next everything. And sometimes I'm conflicted a little, but anyway, I thought that was really interesting. Then, I'm in church and I'm Catholic, so I sit through Mass, and I've done some posts on this before, and I thought to myself, while Jesus is, being an influencer, why doesn't he say, hey, come and get this water bottle, make it a really huge one, make sure that you're drinking it through Mass. If you don't have a medical issue or you're not pregnant, then drink up. If you are pregnant or have a medical issue, then yes, you're more than welcome to have the water. But all you other people that just have pews and full of people with water bottles, the real blinged out ones, the disposables, you're drinking it, that's cracking in class. It's the most amazing thing. So come on, bring it. Who cares about catechism? Those that you need snacks, we can actually offer you the peanuts. When you come in, we'll give you a bag of peanuts so that you can snack through the Mass. Or, if you're not a little child, a toddler that need those kind of snacks like cherries and stuff, but if you're hungry and, here you go ahead. And just make sure that you get this down before you receive communion. Hey, why don't we offer everybody these little earplugs when you come in? Because we have parents out there that don't take advantage of the crying rooms. I totally get it that we have kids and we're supposed to bring them to church. Obviously, that's what you do. You're a family of faith, you bring them to church, even the little ones. But when they become a little unruly, there are churches that offer crying rooms. There are churches that offer daycare. Unfortunately, my church doesn't do daycare, but they offer crying rooms. And there are so many parents will sit there and their kids are screaming. And I get it. I was very fortunate or unfortunate that when my guys were really small, we did Mass at home because it was COVID. We had to do Mass at home. So I have no idea what it would be like to have those little bitty guys in Mass. But when I see parents struggling and you're not taking advantage of those crying rooms and you can't hear the homily, you can't hear I just feel bad. So here you go, folks. Here are some earplugs. I'm going to make sure everyone has these little Jesuses and maybe even little Marys right before you come into church so that you have them. So on the way, or maybe I'll give them to you on the way out. So when you go and you give yourself holy water and you're on your way out, it's a constant reminder that not only are you supposed to be kind in church and civil to your neighbors, be kind and civil in the parking lot. I swear I can't even tell you how many times you give the peace and peace be with you, and you're all warm and fuzzy and you feel like you're full of the Holy Spirit, and you're walking out and you dab yourself and you get in that parking lot and you have people honking the horn, flipping you off, not looking at you. I'm like, is this possible? We're in the Catholic church parking lot. It happens everybody, but we just came out. Ow, that hurt. We just came out of the parking lot. Came out of church. When the folks come in, I'm going to give you a little piece of paper, or better yet, I'll give these to the folks, the Eucharistic ministers. So when you're up there and you're getting ready to receive communion, if you can't take it in your hand and you need to take it in your mouth or vice versa, you can take the bubble gum or the chewing gum out of your mouth and stick it in the paper and then throw it away so that you can receive communion. Okay? So make sure that you get one of those too. Here's one. And if this is offensive to folks, I don't mean it to be offensive, but I take it... let's just leave it at that. I don't want it to be offensive. But here's a menu. Here's a menu. And perhaps we need to make a menu of the catechism of what people accept and not accept in our church. Yes, the cradle Catholics, I'm sure you guys have gone through a lot, especially way back when nuns used to hit you across the hands with the rulers, or when they were way more strict than it is now. But it's funny, it's changing. Catechism hasn't changed. The Catholic catechism has not changed, but the priests have changed, the dioceses have changed, bishops have changed, rules have sort of changed. The norms that are inside the Catholic Mass, the rituals have not changed, but the way we conduct ourselves as a church, like the church, the personality of the church, yeah, they've changed. And the folks that are in OCI and RCIA, OCIA, or it used to be called RCIA, we can't pick and choose on a menu what we believe and not believe in. We're all in it. You get in it, you do your research, you have faith, you believe, and you go for it. If you believe in Jesus, you believe in Jesus. If you believe that he's our salvation, you believe he's in our salvation. We have sacraments in the Catholic Church. We have marriage, baptism, we have reconciliation. We have 7 of them, right? Marriage is one of them. So as Catholics, you get married in the Catholic Church. And if you were married before, yes, you have to go through an annulment. It's a sacrament. I know a lot of people think there are man-made rules, and perhaps it is, but I believe it's biblical. It's in the Bible. It's in our catechisms, and it's a piece of paper. It's not null and voiding your prior marriage. As my husband can attest, he actually had his prior marriage annulled, and it is not that his prior marriage did not exist. It's the fact that it did not exist in a Catholic church. It was not a sacramental marriage. It was marriage, and it was loving and wonderful, well, wonderful as it can be, and then he got divorced. But in the Catholic Church, you have to have an annulment, and it's a piece of paper. It's not a big deal. It is, you sign something that says, that you're agreeing to this. It goes to your diocese, and then there's a process, and it's very quick and easy. Okay, so there's not an a la carte menu on what you're going to believe and not believe. You believe and you practice, and what you are not comfortable with, you pray, and you ask for prayers, and you ask questions, and perhaps you ask your priest, and you ask people who are willing to help you. But to think that you can do a la carte menu type things on what you believe, that's not how it goes, folks. So, the Catholic Church was the first church. It is the church. So I don't know what to tell you there. There is another thing that I wish I could give everybody too as they enter the church, and that's a checkbook or money or coins or something so that you can tithe. A lot of folks will not, tithe, which is fine. You can tithe either money, time, or talent, right? And some people won't even enter the Catholic Church because they think that we solicit and try to beg for money. Well, folks, everybody does. Every organization asks for some type of money. Nonprofit organizations ask for donations, schools, companies, anything. It's all over the place. So, yeah, in order to have a church, you have to have money. You have to have a budget. It's run like a business. And with any business, there's politics. Everybody has politics. Whether it's, I don't care what it is. And please, folks, you're shaking your head or you're looking at me or cursing at me or whatever. There's politics in everything that we do. And oh, by the way, there was politics way back in the biblical times. Just ask Pontius Pilate, right? Yeah. So anyway, this one I have to give it out to the priests and the people that hold leadership roles in our churches, the Catholic Church. We have all of these surveys, and you ask for our feedback, and then you don't take it. There's no changes. Come on, priests. You're going to have to do some things that are not popular. You hear from the people. You hear from us all the time. You hear from the people that are on your boards and business managers and choir managers and DREs and faith formation, and you're not taking their advice. You're not taking their recommendations. Why? I don't know. Perhaps there's politics involved. Perhaps you're afraid to get canceled. I don't know what it is, but what we'd like to offer you is some cojones or some holy wafers. But you need to step up. You need to be courageous. You need to do what's right for the congregation, for your church, for your parish. You are our leader. Act as such. I think another thing that I would like to offer up, and maybe we can, hire somebody, hire a marketing manager, hire a campaign manager, whatever it is that we need to have stronger homilies in our services. Yes, I know that we have liturgical calendars, A, B's, and C's, and we hear the messages every 3 years. I think we hear everything in the Bible. I get it. I hear things over and over and over again, and that's great. But when you hear it over and over again, put some relevancy to it. If you are a deacon or if you are a priest, anybody giving us a homily, guys, we are in this century where we need leadership. We need God and leadership. We need things that are morally instructions and guidance and counseling for us. I love this scripture, and we can read the scripture. We go to Bible study, all of that. We have catechism, faith from 8, all of it. But when you're up there leading us, take the opportunity to lead us. For instance, I'm in Mass. You look out. Lots and lots of people now in Mass because they've changed the faith formation where it's all on Sunday. So we have lots more people gathering, which is awesome. But you look out in those pews and they're people with hair that is gray as mine, if not grayer. A lot of them are snoozing because they're older. We're missing a huge demographic. Why? I don't know. Maybe they're off having babies and being busy raising a family, but raise that family in the church. But anyway, maybe there needs to be some relevancy to what we teach. Yeah, politics and religion don't go together. Yes, I know it will be really risky, maybe in like, oh my gosh, maybe threatening in a good way, in a challenging way, to talk about things that are relevant. What is happening in our world that we should come together in as a church? Or maybe we need to pray and set intentions, and not just generic ones, but real, current, relevant topics. What's holding the priests back? What? Another thing that I would offer up to the women in the parish, mothers who come to the church wanting to get a good prayer and be reverent and listen to the homily and really, really meditate and go within and be with the Lord. But I would give all the mothers out there spa gift certificates. Because when I see all the moms dealing with their children, no slams to dad, I know you're going to come at me, but I see the moms dealing with their kiddos, trying to keep them busy, having them slap them in the face, pulling their hair. They're trying to get Cheerios, pick them off the ground, make sure they're not screaming, negotiating in their ear. Do you know why I know? Because I'm doing it. But I just feel really bad. There has to be a way, and I know that we're there and we're in community, and that's awesome. But I don't know, dads, boyfriends, spouses, partners, kind of help out. Maybe make a plan before you go in. Maybe one of you do it 1 week and the other one the other week, or maybe you do it together, or I don't know. Maybe go to the crying room or the daycare so that you can enjoy the Mass and others around you can enjoy the Mass. But moms, I got you. I understand you. And we're exhausted, but I pray for you. I pray for you a lot. Several months ago, before faith formation started for the children, we got a letter from our faith formation teachers and instructors about dress code, which was much needed, and I'm very thankful for that. And it's not like you can't wear jeans and things like that. I mean, this is a society where things are changing, even in the church when it comes to attire, but it was, don't wear t-shirts with offensive messages on it. Make sure your cleavage, everything is like buttoned up. Don't wear, skirts that will not leave anything to your imagination. I mean, the length of your skirts. First of all, I don't understand that parents let their children go out and do that, but whatever. So that was really, really needed. But here's another thing that I don't understand. Men and women are coming into the church with full-blown hats on. Hats, baseball caps. I mean, some women come in with beautiful plumes like they're on the Kentucky Derby route or something. I don't get it, but take those hats off. It's disrespectful. If you want to come in and veil yourself like you do back in the biblical times, and, a lot of folks still do that, which is a beautiful thing, but don't walk in with some things with plumes and stuff. I don't understand it. I don't think it's appropriate. I think there is a dress code thing about that. Put your hats down. You don't wear those to dinner, right? You don't come in and wear those in a restaurant at the dinner table, do you? Do you allow your children or men, don't you take your hats off when you pray before you eat? Right? I am not picking on the priests. I just don't understand when we get to this point where you have these type of positions that you can't take a very assertive leadership role. For instance, silly things like this. Our parish is packed recently, and I'm so happy. It's not being a creaster. It's not that they come at Christmas and Easter. Lately, the parish is packed. It's a beautiful thing. But I don't know, Mr. Priest or Mr. Deacon or whoever's in charge of, what do we call that person that kind of coordinates the activities right before the whole ritual starts happening? Get up and make an announcement and tell everybody to stand up and scoot to the center so that other people can come into the pew. That is not a hard thing to do. You get up to the podium. Hello, welcome everybody. Happy Sunday. I just want to remind everybody to scoot into the center. Actually, why don't we all stand up and get a little closer and leave the ends open so that people can fit in? Yeah, it's called common courtesy. It's just get up and make the announcements. Maybe remind folks you can't drink water. You chew your gum out or throw your gum out, your breath mints, whatever it is. Try that on for size. Just tell them. Remind them that the parking lot is an extension of the church. You just came out of church. Don't be flipping people off and laying on the horn. Or I don't know, maybe take your turns on getting out of the parking lot. Oh my gosh. This one I'm guilty of myself, but oh my gosh, do I make a concerted effort. I want to have like little reminder cards for people walking into the church that says, or maybe, as a greeter, hi, welcome, turn off your phone. Hi, welcome, silence your phone. I think it's sometimes I think it's hysterical, and other time I'm like, you're the same person, the same sound that went off last week, turn off your phone. But like, you can be sitting there like one time, you hear like, Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy, those songs. I'm like, oh my gosh. And you can't help but giggle. And the priest tries not to get interrupted, but you could tell they hesitate. What? Why couldn't somebody just make the announcement before Mass? Hey, everybody, just a reminder, stand up, scoot to the center, make room for everybody. We're all children of God. We want to pray. Also, silence your phones. The last few things that I'll say is that I do know that these days, priorities are very different, somewhat conflicting. There's not a lot of time. We are fast-paced. We do it to ourselves, but in order to keep up, it's incredible what we have to do and do it in warp speeds. But one of the things that I want to just remind folks of is that your faith should be your priority. God is priority. And in our life, we all understand, in my family, that God is priority, and then the husband, wife, and children, and so forth. If it sounds like a hierarchy, I guess it is. We all believe in God first. So hopefully you can carve out the time to make it a priority. And like I said, I know that we're all in seasons, and it's insanity. But once you do that, once you make that Sunday or whatever that day is that you go to Mass, your Sabbath, it's awesome. Because me personally, I feel really full when it's done. And I'll leave you with this. The videos were supposed to be somewhat humorous, somewhat sarcastic. There's a lot of truth, nuggets of truth behind them. But please, I hope I wasn't too offensive to folks, because I know that everybody is offended by something. You could be offended by my hair right now, because I know that some people are. But I don't mean to be offensive. A lot of it is observation. And I know that while you're observing, people will go, well, when you're observing, you're judging. And I try not to judge. I'm making observations, and I'm verbally speaking it and trying to be as humble as I can. But I just needed to get these kind of things out. And until we can come back together and put the norms back into our faith and the way we celebrate and practice our faith, I just giggle. I feel like we are getting further and further apart, even with silly things like the rules or the norms of a church. It's not okay to say, well, I think I'm going to change it. Well, why don't we just break this law? Oh, don't even get me into that, because we have leaders right now breaking laws all the time, don't we? Anyway, don't mean to be judgmental. I'm intending to make the next few minutes of this video to be tongue-in-cheek or to be funny and to be sarcastic, but behind all of that, there is some truth to it. So, and it's about the Catholic Church, and it's about people and their comments or their opinions or their beliefs and all of that. I am doing this to just put some things out there and hopefully hit some funny bones, but hopefully hit going, But, I'm just going to read a list of some of these complaints or things that you hear about the Catholic Church, about the Catholic faith. Handling of abuse scandals, lack of women in leadership, teachings of sexuality in marriage, perceived judgment and rigidity, like, we judge a lot, clergy shortages, financial transparency, where the money actually goes, political involvement, lack of engagement of modern culture. Homilies feel very dry and or disconnected or both. And then the parish culture, and you're going to see that I try to be funny or sarcastic, but I just don't know how to bring it out without offending people, and I don't mean to be offensive. And for folks looking for a church, and even myself right now with some of the priests that are leading our church, all I know is that nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. People get reassigned. There's involvement. Even the church goes through growing pains. And every time there's a change or whatever, there's going to be progress, right? That is the goal, is progress. So hopefully that happens. And, I love my faith. I love Jesus. But there's some things that I'm thinking to myself, wow, why are the changes going in the opposite direction? Like, we can't just keep doing whatever we want, folks. There are rules even in a church. But anyway, take a listen.